Grandpa, tell me a story.
Really? You little bastards want another story? Can't you see Grandpa's all dressed up in his finest and getting ready to go to church? He's got to go pray to the Lord God Almighty that Grandpa wins the goddamn lottery so he can get rid of you little bastards. Maybe pay some Mexican immigrant to watch you motherfucker little brats. I mean, Grandpa tried to get the Mexicans at Home Depot to watch you, but they were confused. They were like, do you want us to build? Grandpa's like, no, I want you to watch these goddamn motherfucking kids. They're like, do you want us to paint? No, I want you to watch these goddamn motherfucking kids. They're like, do you want us to spackle? Grandpa's like, I don't care, spackle the goddamn kids. Just keep them out of my goddamn sight for a while. Anyways, that didn't work out too well. And so you motherfucking kids are still being watched by Grandpa. Really, it's annoying. Why your parents ever had you is beyond my recollection. Why Grandpa ever had your parents is beyond my recollection. You know, Grandpa never wanted kids. When Grandpa was growing up back in the 1750s, he had dreams of being a musketeer, of wielding a short sword and a long sword and that weird skinny sword thing, and fighting for the queen and country and king and nobility. And Grandpa doesn't really know what a musketeer did. He just always liked the hat with the feather. So he was like, Grandpa's going to be a musketeer. So he jumped on the back of his... Okay, well, Grandpa didn't have a horse at the time. He had a cow because his family was poor and, well, they had a cow. So he jumped on the back of his cow and he rode to Paris to join the musketeers. And on his way to Paris, well, let's just say cows don't ride the smoothest in the world. They don't understand giddy up. So it took Grandpa a while to get to Paris. Like 3 months. Goddamn cocaine. Grandpa really needs to quit. Damn black people getting Grandpa addicted to cocaine. Partying in the 70s. Anyways, back to my story. So Grandpa rode to Paris to become a musketeer. And while he got to Paris, Grandpa, being the lover of ladies that he is, hit on the first beautiful lady that he saw, which turned out to be a man. Let's just say, back in the 1800s, it was hard to tell, especially the French people. They all had the makeup on and the white puffy hair, and they looked very effeminate. So Grandpa and the man kind of got in a disagreement because Grandpa swore up and down he wasn't a man, and he swore up and down he was. And let's just say he was right. He was a man. Grandpa found that out the hard way after he bested him in a duel and proceeded to take his pants down. But Grandpa, being the unyielding sort that he was, proceeded to have sex with him anyways because, fuck it. Grandpa had just fought a duel to have sex with this man, and he was going to do it. Be he a man, a woman, or possibly after that a very confused individual. Anyway, so Grandpa fought a duel, won the fair hand of, I don't know what the hell his name was. It was a long time ago. Grandpa does not keep a record of every man he has had sex with. Or a woman, for that matter. He tends to keep better records of the women simply because he would like to have sex with them again. But he does not keep track of every man he has had sex with. Anyways, Grandpa continued his trek to Paris to become a musketeer when all of a sudden 3 bandits jumped out of the road, dressed in black coveralling things and holding katana long swords. So Grandpa, being the swashbuckling knave that he was, attacked them, riding his cow and swinging his, well, okay, Grandpa couldn't afford a sword at this time because, well, his family was poor, as Grandpa had already mentioned. That's why he was riding the cow in the first place. So he was kind of wielding a stick and pretending it was a sword. So, I mean, really, it was a little embarrassing to be fighting ninjas that were wielding katana swords with a stick But Grandpa prevailed, using all of his mighty swordman, stickman skills he had. And they were kind of confused when a guy riding a cow charged at them wielding a stick, and it kind of caught them off guard and allowed Grandpa to win. So Grandpa took their katana swords and continued to ride to Paris, where he met the musketeers at their palace hideaway. And they told Grandpa, well, you can't become a musketeer because A, you have no formal training with a sword, B, you're not nobility, C, you're riding a damn cow. And you know what? Grandpa was a little miffed by this. So wielding his 3 katana swords in deadly precision, one in each hand and one, well, it was still strapped to his back because at that point Grandpa was out of hands. But he was still technically wielding 3 katana swords. He attacked the musketeers with everything he had, spinning in a whirling frenzy of spinning bladiness and attacking them. And, well, they bested Grandpa pretty easily because, well, as they had clearly pointed out, Grandpa had no idea how to use a sword at that time. And so they basically kicked Grandpa out of Paris and told him never to come back. And so Grandpa joined the ninjas that he had beaten, and he claimed unholy vengeance on the musketeers. So he traveled to mystic China, learned the ancient secrets of the ninjas and throwing smoke bombs, then returned to Paris. And by that time the musketeers had been disbanded, so, well, Grandpa didn't ever get his vengeance, but he did get really cool black pajamas. So in closing, Grandpa would just like to add, when you can't be a musketeer, be a ninja, because they get better pajamas. Even though Grandpa did get a cool feathered hat from the musketeers' hideout after he got back, he had cool pajamas and a feathered hat. So Grandpa went on to take over France, but really, who hasn't done that? And all in all, it was a good trip. Now, would you little bastards get the fuck away from me before Grandpa's forced to hit you with a baseball bat? Go! Now!